world was introduced to the wonders of artificial intelligence in 2023 when apps like ChatGPT went mainstream. This year, we have seen how AI is transforming businesses and organizations around the world. For today's Business World One-on-One, we are here with Peter Maquera, Chief Executive Officer of Microsoft Philippines. He's here to share how AI is transforming businesses and how Microsoft is leading the AI revolution. Let's talk about, there was this study, I think, or an index a few months ago, where Oxford Insights ranked the Philippines 65th out of 193 economies in terms of AI readiness. How would you assess the current state of AI readiness in the Philippines?
I think we're making significant progress. There's so much opportunity for us in terms of adoption, and I think the Philippines embracing it is increasing every day, so that's encouraging.
Mm-hmm. From your perspective, which sectors are ripe for AI-driven transformation?
I think the beauty of the generative AI is it affects most industries. The ones that we've seen the fastest adoption has been in the banking sector, the financial and insurance industry, as well as the telcos. And I think the reason for that is they have many customers, they deal with a lot of content, and it's the language model that's been making the most impact.
So can you share more about Microsoft's experience in helping the banking and financial companies with their AI transformation?
So I would say there's two approaches that usually happens. There's the low-lying fruit, where a lot of companies will start with the internal use cases. So just HR policies and so on. So it's not so risky, but it really helps the organization align and become more comfortable with the technology. The second one are the bigger, more complicated use cases. When you start using customer service for the external customers, it's a lot more complex to do, but that's where the huge impacts are.
Are you talking about the AI chatbots and stuff? Or?
That's correct. That's one level, but there's also sales augmentation or customer service augmentation. So what we're doing a lot right now, especially with our product called Copilot.
Yeah, Copilot.
The big idea is to give you a genius Copilot, but you're still the pilot. So if you're involved in sales, your Copilot might be recommending for you what would be appropriate for that customer, so that it's a much more engaging conversation with your customer.
So I think one of the main issues right now is the lack of AI equipped talent in the Philippines. I think there was a report in BusinessWorld a couple of days ago where the IT and BPO sector was saying that, they don't have a lot of workers that are equipped to handle AI. So how do you think can the Philippines address that issue?
Yeah, so I'm not sure on the context of that was said. I do think, though, that we need to demystify AI a bit. So sometimes we're stuck in the, we need to go to school, we need to get certifications, we need all this training, when there's a lot you can already do to start doing, right? In the case of the office work, so Microsoft will have the office tools like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Teams. Those are largely ready to go, and you can benefit from them already. And then there's the more complex ones that take a bit longer to do. So there's AI that workers can readily do. There's AI that you need to probably go to school to be a AI engineer, to have a master's in machine learning, and you might require different expertise if you're going to be a strategist around AI, or you're going to be looking at how the new organization might work. So I think there's different types of AI jobs being formed, and we just need to, kind of break it down. And there's some that you could do today.
So what exactly are these AI skills that workers can acquire? Do they need upskilling, reskilling, and like
I
proper
think,
training?
I think in when it comes to let's say in customer service, and you're using AI for sales augmentation, you know, you might look at it. The AI would you know, show you, oh, here's this customer, here's the background of the customer, and here's some ideas that you might suggest to this customer. So that's what I would call more sales augmentation. And so the salesperson would just need to be trained on how to use that tool, right? So this is what I mean about there's that skilling that needs to happen, much like you would be skilled in other new platform that you would have to use, right? And then, but if you want to be an AI engineer, then that one, you know, you would
Require
need,
school, actual
you
going
would
to
need
school.
more schooling probably.
Yeah, because I think you mentioned in a previous report that, you know, harnessing AI is the skill of the future, right? Like, how important is it for like, for example, a young graduate to, to have those skills to be successful in the workplace of the future?
I think it's important in the sense that, remember I was saying that what we're giving you is a co-pilot genius for everything you're going to do. So I think you're going to see the a level of excellence increase in whatever it is you do. So I think it's important to adapt in that way with new tools and new technologies. So it's more in the context of, you know, the bar is being raised in the amazing things that you can do.
Yeah. So I think it was earlier this year when Microsoft and LinkedIn released the 2024 Work Trend Index on the use of, particularly on the use of AI in the workplace. And maybe we can talk more about that. I think one of the more interesting things that I saw was that how the usage of AI, Filipinos use AI more than their regional and global counterparts. Why do you think that?
Yeah, I think that, you know, it goes back many decades, you know, going back to social networking. We've always been an early adopter of technology. So maybe that's, you know, to some degree innate in Filipinos, but perhaps another one is, you know, we have the youngest population in the region. Our average age is 25. So if you think about, if you're a 25-year-old, you were born in the late 90s when, you know, in effect, you were born digital, right? You already had the internet, and then, you know, the progressive, you know, adoption of mobile phones and cloud and a lot of technology. So you were born with a lot of technology already around you.
Were there other parts of the report that you think are, you know, indicative of like the trend for AI in the Philippines?
Yeah, no, I think one of the most important ones that I think that, you know, that kind of came out of that report was that the employees are already using it and aren't waiting for the company to have an AI strategy.
Yeah.
At the same time, half of the companies, the leaders, aren't confident that they have an AI strategy. And so what happens is you have the employees using it anyway, and you don't have the framework and the guardrails in the company to practice AI responsibly, so that the company would be susceptible to data loss, privacy breaches, and so on. So I think it's really imperative for companies to have that strategy in place and guardrails and frameworks in place to use AI responsibly.
Yeah. So why do you think companies are probably on the fence about, you know, coming up with an AI strategy? Is it more of like they're scared or they don't know exactly how to start?
I think there's probably a range of reasons. I think it's not so simple. When you think about what you need to have in place to have AI in your organization, you need to understand how AI impacts your business strategy and your return on investment. Because companies won't do AI just to do AI, right? And then when you do that business planning and have that intentionality, you might realize that you need to modernize your technology. You need to have a data strategy and be able to have the capture the data so that then you can analyze the data. And then you need to start deploying AI if you have those in place.
Yeah.
And then you're worried about security and privacy. So it's fairly complex. And if you have a lot of legacy technology, it might cost you to modernize, or you might not have the right skill sets in your organization to develop that strategy. So I think all those need to be in place for you to intentionally benefit from AI.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, you know, employees are like sort of leading the way.
Yeah.
Is it because they're younger, the workers are?
Well, I think it's already out there and it's really good. I mean, just the way it writes content or analyze data or give you useful insights instantly. I think it's already adding so much value. So people will use it anyway because it's already there.
Yeah.
So what we're really talking about is how do you use it responsibly? How can you be more intentional about transforming your organization?
Yeah.
And, you know, achieve business impact like faster revenue growth, higher productivity, lower your cost. So those require intentionality. They won't happen by themselves.
Yeah. So I think another concern probably of some businesses is the cost of deploying AI in their business. I believe Microsoft commissioned a study about with IDC on like the business returns on AI investment. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, no, this is actually one of the big challenges is how do you have the sophistication in leadership to frame AI and have a plan for AI that it achieves that business value. So, you know, in typical, in terms of the CRM adoption, you know, you typically would expect to have, you know, savings of 30 to 50%.
Wow.
Right? So that's what I mean. You wouldn't do it just to do it.
Yeah.
But to get that meaningful impact, you need a detailed business plan, an execution plan. You need the right skills to do it. So it's like any other transformation.
Let's go to the macro part of, because I think the Philippine government is now looking at, you know, developing and leveraging AI to drive economic growth. They're crafting right now a national AI strategy, and you know they're envisioning the Philippines to be an AI hub. So what do you want to see in the country's AI roadmap, and what roles should public policy and regulation play in the promotion of AI in the country?
Yeah, you know, I've seen some of them. You know, I've seen the roadmap from the Department of Trade and Industry. I think there are also other strategies from other agencies. I think these are all really important to do, real important conversations to have. So policies around making sure that it's safe, right? Free of biases, it's secure, that your data continues to be private and is not breached. It's trustworthy, so that it's not, you know, it's filtered for fake news and hate. So I think those are really important, you know, frameworks to have responsible AI. There's a lot of programs around skilling, especially for Department of Education. I'm hearing about it in the universities. So those frameworks are really important. What I am excited to see would be the doing part, right? So we have the planning, we have the strategy, so we need to accelerate the actual doing.
Yeah, the execution is the important
and,
part.
and see that business impact.
Yeah, definitely.
What is the impact to serving the citizens better?
True.
Right? What is the impact to streamlining your business processes?
Yeah.
What is the impact to removing drudgery from employees and upskilling them? So I think that one I'm hoping to see soon. You know, what the essentially the benefits of all the planning and the guardrails. Let's put it to work.
Yeah. So how do you see Microsoft's role in supporting the AI business imperative, and what opportunities do you see for businesses in the Philippines?
Yeah, so Microsoft is, we've been investing quite a bit in digital skilling together with our sister company, LinkedIn. So a lot of these are free, and we have a lot of certification programs. So, that's directed through K through 12, that's directed to the universities. So we're doing that in the education sector. We do a lot of work with the government agencies and the LGUs. And then in the private sector, we're working with a lot of businesses, especially through the small businesses. We have, many partners in the systems integration, IT services space. We invest in them. We provide them skilling. We help them in how they go to market. And in the large companies, we actually sit alongside them, for strategy and for deployment. So it's actually all around, and we have a huge corporate team contributing to, our views on the right policies on data governance, data protection, cybersecurity, so that more and more businesses locate here.
There have been also criticisms about like AI and will lead to more job displacement, or concerns about AI leading to job displacement, as well as concerns over ethics, privacy, and the broader impact on society. How would you respond to that, and how would you allay those concerns?
Yeah, no, will jobs be lost? I think so. Will jobs change? I think so. But this has been going on for hundreds of years. And I think it's really that timing and the pace at which, how fast will AI transform businesses and create jobs, and some jobs will be lost, compared to how fast can people upskill so that they're able to handle those jobs of the future. So it's the timing of the two. And I think the value proposition of generative AI in particular is, you're able to access complex technologies with natural language. And so you've lowered the bar in how you might benefit from the most powerful technologies. So I think the things that we're doing to skill, to train, to have the right policies, to have the right conversations are all really, really important, so that we stay on course to adapt to the new jobs being created.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Maquera. Such an enlightening discussion on the current landscape on artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I hope we learned something valuable about the current AI landscape today. This has been Business World One-on-One. Thank you.